name is Gene Lee, and I'm a representative of MyFi, My Finance, My Future. We have collaborated with JP Morgan to provide financial workshops to better the impoverished families within the Dallas community. So, more than 20% of children within the Dallas community is living in poverty. This brings attention to their current living situation as well as their future. If they are brought up for their upbringing within this environment, then they might prioritize tasks today more so for their future. So whether it's saving up for an emergency fund or saving up to feed a family in need, it is crucial to identify what's needed today and what's needed for their future. So why? Well, here at MyFi, we have a goal, all right? And that goal is to provide an opportunity towards an audience. And in return, that audience can take that knowledge and information to better themselves, their family, and for their future. This will drastically reduce cyclical poverty within the Dallas community and improve financial health. So, talking about cyclical poverty, I'll introduce Tay to the stage.
All right, so many areas in the Dallas County experience something known as generational or cyclical poverty. This is defined as whenever families are living in 2 or more generations of poverty. Typically, this can be explained due to the lack of resources and opportunities for kids in these families, and in our case, we're going to be focusing on education. All right, this is Gene Mera, and he is an educational psychologist, and he came up with 4 social capitals that students should have or don't have, and this is how he defines them. So the first one is academic initiative. This is basically students' work ethic and how motivated they are to do schoolwork. And the second one is sense of knowing. This is the foundation from whenever they're little and they're going through the school system. That's how they build the foundation to get to the first one, the academic initiative. The third is a sense of connection. So basically when students in low opportunity families attend school, they usually feel alienated and they feel like they don't belong in school. So they tend to be less motivated. And the last social capital is the sense of well-being. And this is just general sense of emotional, mental, and psychological security. And next, Caleb is going to talk about opportunities in education.
So we spent years and years at school to learn the things that we don't know and to learn the knowledge. So education is important, but we believe a good quality of education is more important and even matters more. So the quality of education for the families who lives in poverty in the Dallas area is much lower compared with the communities that are around in Dallas. And research actually shows that students from low-income families are 5 times more likely to drop out of school comparing with the students comes from the high-income families. So people giving up their opportunities of going to school at a young age due to the conditions of their families. And due to the conditions of their families, that's right. And the desire of making money for these teenagers force them to go out and look for jobs. And it's very obvious and clear that, for these teenagers, that making money is more important than everything else. So they're just going to school, and therefore they unconsciously think or consider education as a waste of time. And then, as I mentioned before, education is important and is very powerful as well. So the lack of education actually limits the knowledge of people. Therefore, poverty continues for generations and years and years. And then, so a right education can help people mentally, physically, and financially. So that's what actually inspired us to come up with this project. And now I'm just gonna pass it over to Mandy.
Now that we know how these certain situations affect education and the negative impact that they have on communities, our main goal is working to break the cycle of poverty. And this project is by no means a cure-all, but we do believe that it is a good place to start. And our project really aims to tackle the concept of financial adaptivity, and we do that by providing personal advising to individual families. And with this, parents and households are much better equipped to assist their children who are on the path to going to institutes of higher education. They learn about resources, learn how to handle their finances better through workshops, learn how to just understand finance and manage them a lot better. And these are all tools that they can use to build a proper foundation for their families in these households where children do where the goal is for children to go on to institutes of higher education. And these children that are impacted by this project who move forward in higher education are all children who have the opportunity to break the cycle of poverty, as was talked about before. And now I'm gonna pass it over to Caitlin to explain kind of our overarching goals.
Okay, so the main purpose of this project is to raising awareness of the financial management for the underprivileged communities and communities that need help the most. We will providing with Alice the financial help to the community and make sure that they will have a better economic condition, and we will provide the basic financial education, and also let's also make them to have like a connection to our financial advisor to make sure the member will have a contact in the future needed. And with all this benefit that they will be receiving, we are hoping to have an opportunity to break down any possible cycle of poverty and allow younger generation to receive higher education and ultimately landing into a better career option and a brighter future. So next I will bring back Mamie to the floor to talk about the project plan for us.
Alright, so there are 4 main parts to our project plan. The first being scouting and applications. And as far as applications go, they'll be sent out in mail listings to certain households and communities that will actually be choosing our team based on research, depending on which households and communities would benefit it the most. And second, as far as selection will be based off of a priority process with priority given to communities and households with children in them, because that's what we're targeting as kind of the people to carry on this project to kind of break the cycle of poverty, be educated financially and everything. And then as far as benefits go, with our project, we will be providing, like I stated earlier, financial workshops, financial advising and aid, and also for select households, they will be able to open a credit card account, which will charge very, very low interest. And as far as workshops go, those will take place over a span of 5 weeks, and there will be representatives from Chase Bank there to kind of go over financial literacy and help educate families and households on their finances. And for a more personal touch, there will actually be representatives and financial advisors from JP Morgan, and they will be able to talk to families on an as-needed basis and be a little more personal there and see how they can specifically help out certain families with their finances. And now I'll pass it back to Peyton to talk about our budget.
Okay, so the total budget that we will use is gonna be $12,000, and we will prioritize the client and client's benefit and over profit, and that's the priority is gonna be our sponsor JP Morgan. By allowing a charitable mindset, we were able to cut significant amount to compare to another competitors. And lastly, I will pass to Jean, and then he will wrap up the presentation for us.
Alright, so that concludes our budget for the proposal. As a recap, so the MyFi team has collaborated with JP Morgan to provide financial workshops for the impoverished families within the Dallas community. For this, we hope to see an improvement in financial health and to drastically slow down the cyclical poverty rate within the Dallas community, and hopefully change that 20% to a much, much lower percent. I'd like to thank the Dallas Chamber of Commerce for being here today and to heavily consider our proposal to be taken into action. I'll now open the floor to any questions.